The Mega Millions and Powerball lotteries in the US have exceeded $2 billion. This is an extraordinary amount of money that might end up in one person's hands, completely changing their lives. In fact, they will have no idea what to do with the money and will most likely lose it all. Statistically, lottery winners tend to be in worse financial condition than they were before winning. What would you do with the $2 billion? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to talk about what's big in the news, and that's the $2 billion plus lotteries in the United States today. I wanted to cover some issues and what this represents and what we can really take from all of this. So you've seen it right now. Powerball and Mega Millions combined jackpot hits $2 billion after there were no winners on Saturday. A lot of people have been throwing their money in every single time. This continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's a lot of talk. Is this even real? Do they fix it? And who knows? I don't really know. To be honest, I've never actually played the lottery myself. The only time I've ever had a ticket was getting it as a gift. I've never personally played a lottery, and I've never played casino either. It's not my type of thing. I don't do it, but I know a lot of people in my family do it, and I've had friends do it, and acquaintances and things that play every single week. It's a standard thing. They put their $5, $10 or whatever. They go to the casinos and things. I'm just personally not into it, and I don't really hold that against anybody. I just think that if I'm going to spend the money on something, I want to be really, really sure about it. And that's one thing that you can't be with a lottery. You can't have any assurance in it. It's simply a lottery. It's a risk. You gamble essentially, and you put your money in and hope for a big return. But in the average, you tend to put your money in and never really get anything back. Maybe you win a free play, maybe you win $20, $100, but you end up putting that back in. That's statistically, of course. They say the house always wins, and in the end, it usually seems to do so. But some people, they do win. And here you could see in the bottom right-hand corner, people winning all the time. It does happen. There's no doubt about that. Right now, the Mega Millions is at 1.6 billion. So maybe they'll have to change the name to Mega Billions one of these days. But right now, 1.6 billion. And what's interesting is if you take the cash option, you're only going to get 900 million. So they take from you right away in that way. If you're not going to take it over the course of a 20-year period or whatever it is, you get that 900 million. You're going to get taxed by the IRS. They're going to take from you their cut, and you're left with still at this point a very, very big sum. Then you're looking at this. Even Canadians could go and play in the US lottery if they do it from online. I don't know if that's official or not, but that seems to be the way it is. So it's possible that Canadians could take part in this, and that will just allow them to expand it further and further. There'll be more money at stake. Looking at this is really what it comes down to, and this is the reason why I don't play the lottery. The chance of winning the Mega Millions jackpot is 1 in 302.6 million. So 300 million for Powerball, it's almost 300 million. 1 in 300 million, all right? Now that statistically is infinitesimal. It's so small that as far as I'm concerned, it's not worth it. I would rather take the same amount of money and put it into stocks, for example. At least I know, at least I can do my due diligence. I could say, well, this right here, this stock, it's probably good. I can look at their PE ratio. I can look at their earnings. I can look at their price currently. I can look at what's happening with the interest rates. I can make some educated guesses. I could put the money in and it goes up and down, up and down. Maybe I win, maybe I lose. But with lottery, it seems like it's an all or nothing type of deal. And that's really something that I'm not interested in personally. But again, it's up to you and what you want to do. The way I just look at it is that people have the mentality to put money into something in hopes that they're going to hit that jackpot, in hopes that they're going to make it big one day. But we need to put the effort into things every single day to make sure that it does happen. And that's what we need to do, not just by throwing our money out there, whether it's on a stock, or whether it's on some sort of investment that you've heard about. We need to be working every day to build something better than where we're at. Maybe it's a service you provide to people. You can do this and you can escalate it and increase it and find ways to make it better. Okay, so maybe you're a painter. Maybe you need to get some new equipment and have better tools to be working with so that you can be a better painter. Maybe it's that you you drive as your job, right? Are you using a gas efficient vehicle, fuel efficient vehicle? Maybe you need to get a new efficient vehicle that's going to help you get to point A to point B better, faster, cheaper. There are ways that you can be spending the money, in my opinion, more logically, and that it will actually make you money, not necessarily guaranteed, but it's going to probably end up resulting in you making more money. That's the way I see it. It's taking money and making more out of it. You're going to earn it at your 9 to 5, or maybe on your business, or maybe you have a side business, or maybe you've inherited it, or maybe you got it somehow else. I don't really know. But essentially, we need to take that and do what we can to make more from it. So that's the way I look at money. That's the way I look at the lottery and things. And I want to know what you think about it. Again, I don't judge anybody for doing it. I know so many people who play the lottery every single week. And I just, I don't have an opinion on it necessarily for these people. I don't ever say don't play it or anything like that. I think that, if you want to be one of these people that's in the lineup, that's fine. I think it's a little silly personally because of what we could be doing with that money instead. If you got money to waste, there's nothing wrong with that. People buy foolish things every day. And, although I don't have too many things, that I certainly have been victim of this. We're all consumers. We all buy things. And there have been times when we probably look back 10 years from that point and thought, why did I even buy this thing? And you think to yourself, now, as you can hear from the echo in the room, I don't have too many things, but essentially I've always tried to maintain strength in this regard and say, is my money really spent wisely on this? Am I going to use this thing that I'm buying? If I think that it's something useful to me that I'll be using for a while, then I don't have a problem with that. But if it's something that's just going to be on a whim, just, hey, let me put my money in there and see what happens, this, I don't think is a true investment. When you're speculating that this will be worth more at some point, that's speculation. So you're taking that, let's say it's $5 ticket, you're taking the $5, you're hoping you're going to make $2 billion, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. But there's a lot of other things that we should be doing with our income. I'm not talking about this lottery. That's only, you could think of it like only $5. But maybe it's the way that we spend our daily income. Okay, so what are we doing with that value? It's a lot of money that goes out the door. People who buy their lunches every day, buy their coffee every day. They're buying things every day. Maybe they park at the parking lot that's really close to their work instead of taking a 5-minute walk and saving $10 a day, saving $5 a day. It'll add up, right? Maybe they're, as I said, buying their coffee at Starbucks. Maybe you can just use the coffee from home. You could bring it in a thermos. You could save $3, or if you have 2 or 3 coffees, maybe you're saving $6 a day, $8 a day, you're buying your lunch, and so on. These are things that add up, maybe not so much in a day, maybe not even a week, but after a year, that starts to add up and makes a big difference. Top things people would be excited about if they win big: getting out of debt. Now, I have to ask the question, why are you in debt? That's one of the problems that people are encountering today, and why they want to play the lottery, because they're in debt, whether that's credit cards and loans and things, or whether that's your house or student loans. Now think of that. All of this is debt. All of these. So we've got to think about this, why exactly people do this. Now they're on this, want to go on their extravagant trips, and surely there's so many beautiful places around the world. Chances are they're not too cheap either, but we need to be trying to enjoy ourselves every day. There's so many places around where we live, I'm sure, that are so fantastic, but we want to go away, right? There's a lot of places nearby your house, I'm sure, that are so nice and things that we don't need to go on a 7-star luxury resort and things that would be supposedly so great, and when you look back 5-10 years later, maybe you don't have that same level of enjoyment. A lot of people need to value what they have today, and this is not to get too preachy, but anyway, so I wanted to look at this because it gives me an insight. Where are people spending their money right now, and where should they be putting their money? That's really all I'm trying to get at. Okay, and then just to look at this here. 20 lottery winners who lost every penny. Statistically, it is a fact that a lot of these lottery winners tend to lose it all and are worse off. They lose their relationships, they lose their family members from this. There's all kinds of things that are just terrible to read about, and they had so many millions of dollars, and suddenly it's all gone. They're further in debt. They've lost so much in their lives. It's because they didn't know what to do with their money. So I advise everybody to get a handle on their money, to get a handle on what you would do. And that's my last point. What would you do if you won the lottery? Maybe by the time taxes and you took the lump sum and everything else, you're left with $600 million. $600 million US dollars. What would you do with it? That's a good question. It's a good exercise. It's something that I like to do for fun. What would I do with $600 million? And it's difficult because you're going to get it in one lump sum. It's just going to end up where? In your hands? Are you going to put it in the bank? I wouldn't trust it in the bank, not $600 million. It's something to think about. And that gives you an idea of what I want to do. Like, if it's basically unlimited money, $600 million, it's difficult to spend that. And it gives me perspective on thinking, what do I really want in my life in terms of the material things? Well, I want a house. That'd be great. Good food. That's good. I want that. Clean water. Okay, great. And don't want to have to worry about paying bills. And it's like, what do I do with the rest of the money? Okay, there's some people who are just spending on all these other things that they really don't need in their lives. Yeah, you need somewhere to live. Sure, you need to eat, you need water and shelter and the basic things in life, and everything else is just extra. So take what you're earning today and make sure that you invest wisely, to the end goal being getting what you really need from life. That's what I think about. That's part of the whole money GPS strategy that I've talked about before. If you're not sure what that is, it's in my second book, and it's also, I talk a little bit about that in my playlist, How To and Solutions. So you'll see it there. But essentially, what we're talking about is the value of money and what it really brings to you today. That's all for this video. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. This is a total different type of video, but because it's so relevant in the news and I'm sure people are talking about it at work or family and things, I thought that it would be interesting just to get you in that perspective. Think, what would you do? $600 million, boom, it's in your bank account. What are you going to do? Because you're not going to leave it in the bank account. What are you going to do with it? And then take that perspective and understand the value of what it really means, okay? Unlimited money, what are you going to do with it? How would you react? And that means what I would do with my money today as I'm earning it, making sure that we're investing properly. If you want the financial education you were not taught in school, well, then these two books have it all. You can figure it all out from the very beginning, A to Z, in these two books. Check it out, link in the description. If you're more interested in the audiobook version, you can get that at themoneygps.com.